mine's a little low on the intake, and I think that day I hadn't eaten a whole lot. But I often see people who are very low on the intake, and then they are also very low on the outtake. A fat storer would have a lot here and very little here. So it shows you kind of if you're in a burning or storing phase. I'm definitely in a burning. Okay, this is the brain. This is my psycho-emotional state index. It might not have been this good the other night with my son. He was being a little bratty. But in general, mine is quite good. Again, it was 100%, so I was doing great that day. And this is a snapshot. So understand, I would love to be able to say, I'm always doing good. And I do use this as a nice confidence builder for myself. But there are probably days when I would be a little bit more in the other category. So this just means that my central nervous system, my emotional system is going well with my brain. So everything's going nicely there.
Marta, wouldn't we probably notice a difference in that if people did proprioception, if we were testing for it, because of the brain connection?
Yeah, one of the things I learned the other day, and I'll go over this probably a little more tomorrow, is I was actually going through the Nogier setting. So if you pull out, it says your simplified frequency guide. I passed that out earlier. We almost always do the HRD on either setting B or setting C. And you could do the odd C or the odd B. Those are 98 and 99 on our list. Okay. And when I say odd, Drew just has some frequencies in there that he really likes. He prefers, such as solfeggio and so we use those in that 98 and 99.
So you do this during or right after?
You do it before and after.
The HRD you do before and after.
Yeah, the HRD you do before and after. This example I did not do before and after, so I'm not showing you before and after. I can find someone in there, but I didn't want to use somebody's name without permission, so I didn't do what. So I'm just showing you what mine looked like. I will go and find a before and after in a second. So here we have, that's now you have. See, maybe blood sugar is good. So on your sheet, I was looking at that because I was rewriting it. Now that we're no longer specifically with Elon, I wanted to have our own work. And so I actually found a lot of really interesting information. It's kind of like, when you hear the story about, we always in our household, we do a half rump roast or whatever, and then find out later that it's because the great-grandmother's pan was too small or something like that, and everyone just cut it short. So I kind of decided to look at every piece of literature that I had. How accurate was it? Was it good? Yes, they're different. It's different. I changed it.
Yeah.
I rewrote it. So you can blame me or so we have more. So if we need some more. Yeah, okay, have it. Okay, so it says guide for settings 1 through 7. It always bothered me that I never knew what it was the guide for. So I got very specific. It's a guide for 1 through 7 on your machine. Okay? And those happen to be the 7 Nogier frequencies. And so one of the things that we've been talking about a lot is setting 6 we would do for alignment, right? And I'm going to talk about that tomorrow, but what I realized is setting 6, when I did my research, they're like, actually it's not so much for the lymphatics, which is what I've been telling people for 4 years, that it's actually a right-left brain coherence. 6. And that it does a really nice job of helping the brain and circulatory system. And that makes sense with why I would work with the alignment, because alignment, you feel more coordinated. Your right-left brain is more in tune. When I do that before I go exercise or go do an athletic event, I feel super, in tune and aligned. So and we're going to talk about the alignment specific protocol tomorrow. But it's interesting to look at that. It talks about, it doesn't show you what B and C are on there. I was doing a reading review of setting B and I could not print it last night. It felt like it was 3 o'clock in the morning and I should not try to fix my computer. And then I realized this morning I never printed it. So I will make sure that that's on my website and that you can download that. That's the solfeggio. And then C, if you ever wanted to know, and I put it on this form just for you, C is settings 2, 3, and 4 along with some of the solfeggio. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, we'll get to it, but mostly just know that a relaxation session of B or C, or some of the other relaxation sessions that she points out in here, I'll tell you some I like on our custom frequencies, 98 and 99. I think it's 79 is instant vacation. That's a good one that I like you could use for that. I also like setting 13, which is true odds, mineral harmonics. I find that, and then setting 40 is for stress and adrenals. So those are some nice ones you could do. We haven't tested all of those. It would be fun to do that. I haven't found the time yet to do that. But what we normally do is just B or C. And I think Shirley found, she does a lot of these, she finds the B actually is the one that she thinks gets the best results. Is that what you think? Okay, let me pull out for just a second. I'm jumping around on you a little bit. Pull out true odds notes, because the first part of that were some brainwave notes. So those were right there, the brainwaves. And we have delta, theta, alpha, beta, gamma. So delta is a big working, like you're doing something, that you're doing brainwave, and I'm pretty strong in that. And ideally, if this is the frequency, if I was relaxed, it would be nice if my delta was not so high. It's showing stress or fatigue to have it be so high. My theta is more of your hypnotic state. The TD is theta. It's a very suggested state. Okay. Alpha is kind of more your it's a dreamlike state. Beta, here we like that to be nice and full of relaxation. And then gamma I find really fascinating because I didn't understand exactly what it was all about, and it was Truott that told me this. Gamma is your genius state, your creativity state. So when April was saying she just gets these great ideas, does anyone else get great ideas when they do the light?
I do.
I do. I find I just get really inspired. And this shows that my gamma was a little higher than normal. You know, ideally you want to get up there, and typically a real stressed person is very little in any of these. They're mostly just doing. They're not imagining or relaxing or dreaming. So those are some things you can play with and show on the HRV. Okay, and you can see that the lights are doing that. Okay. The other thing is coherence, biorhythm coherence. This just means how well your body's working as a symphony. Mine was working quite well. Something black and incoherent wouldn't be as good. And then this is the one that's like that, that what everyone wants to see is I present, at the time, this was actually 3 years ago. Wow. I presented 15 years younger than my actual age. My biological age was, according to this, I think I read this, it's like they put you statistically in a room of 100 people, and they said, well, you would be acting, your data presents at age 30 compared to age 45. So that's the golden one. Everyone wants to know that. Like, oh, what age am I? And it's not good when they get older. So you have to really number that. But the thing is, we're always willing to try this. You never know what might happen. This is the regulation of all of my systems, and you can see how it might not work before. And I'm going to show you one there, and I'm quite healthy this in this picture. And then there's some other fun things here. I won't go into all of this. This shows, look at how high my energy levels are. They're 100%, and then every once in a while I have a dip at 9 and a dip at 3, but mine are very high there. I'm surprised. I don't know if I would do as well today. This showed at the time I had some stress, maybe stagnation in my lungs, and then it shows if you're interested in Chinese medicine, this shows some different things. My total power was pretty high here, 5,388. And then this is just showing that no surprise, I'm a little more yang than yin. Yin is more relaxed, feminine. But what I really like is your aura and your chakras. So these are the chakras. All my chakras were quite open. All the chakra levels, those are just energy centers in the body. And this was my aura, 99%. Wow. Shiny. Wow. Yeah. Okay, but the cool thing is, let me show you somebody and the difference between the two. So I'm going to try, I don't want to pick anyone who's here, because that would be embarrassing. So I'm going to try to find somebody who might not be here. Sorry, your names are off to the side. Just the other day I did this young woman, and nobody knows her, so I'm going to try putting her up. I know. Somebody's not here. Can you think of someone I should be choosing? Oh, here's somebody. I think Heather will be fine. Okay. So this is a woman who, this is a before and after. So she came in, she'd been having a stressful day, and then we did the lights. So when she first, this is before, you can see the different times. Which is before? I'm looking at the time, 6 versus 8. Right? Okay, and this is just to show you some of the things, that I can't explain all of this, but I can tell you some things that are cool. Okay, so her stress index before she did the lights, this is before on this side and this is after.
That's the green.
No, this is at the top right here. Her stress, her effort required to achieve balance was 143%. So she was working very hard not to be in stress. Afterwards, she was at 26, very low. Okay, so this is after she did a B setting. She actually was quite a bit in the sympathetic, of sympathetic. So have I been saying that wrong? Yeah, parasympathetic, sorry, is green. She was actually quite a bit of parasympathetic, rest, digest, and heal, and she wasn't using her backup system very much, and she actually went out of that more. She went more into to fight or flight in here, so that is kind of interesting, kind of what happened with that. But I would say that she was like crazy there, like she wasn't even, normal again is that shaped pie. So that would be interesting there, we could kind of talk about with her exactly what was going on. Down lower, you can see her autonomic nervous system balance was way out when she started at 240, and after she finished, it was 45. So she was way down.
This is 20 minutes. 20 minutes.
This
on
is
the
a
watch.
person who owns the light, so she made really respond really quickly. She's younger, like in her 30s. And then here is her autonomic nervous system balance. So remember how we want to have more green and blue, and she went from having a more stressed situation to having a much bluer. Okay, very good. Her vital force was at 20, and it jumped to 266. So that's what I'm telling you, that's pretty common to see a jump in the vital force in the lights. Okay, move on. Big change in her neural hormonal regulation. Big change, if you should remember, you want to go with more white and blue and less green and yellow. Okay, her metabolic resources. Here's an example of a boost.